Welcome back to the Wall Street Podcast. Today we're doing a deep dive into the August 14th, 2025 edition of the Wall Street Journal. Our mission, as always, is to pull out those key insights on corporate strategy, geopolitical shifts, tech innovation, basically what's moving the markets, tailored for you.
Absolutely. And this edition really highlights how interconnected everything is becoming. You see threads running through tax policy, AI development, global trade. It's all linked.
Okay, so let's start with corporate investment and maybe this reshoring trend. Congress, under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, revived the immediate tax deduction for domestic R&D spending.
Right, that's a big deal. It effectively cuts U.S. hiring costs for tech startups by, what, 20–25%?
Exactly, and you're already seeing the impact. Companies like Finta are apparently shifting hiring plans back to the U.S. Demand for data science, AI roles here is up 15–20%.
And it's not just tech startups. Look at GE Appliances owned by Hair, right? They're putting $3 billion over 5 years into expanding U.S. factories.
That's substantial.
Yeah.
Reshoring work, adding about 1,000 jobs, partly to, well, soften the blow from tariffs, I imagine.
Precisely. It's a defensive move, but also a strategic one. Meanwhile, you've got other dynamics. Amazon expanding grocery delivery.
Yeah, broadening that out. And then Air Canada facing a potential strike. 10,000 flight attendants, negotiations broke down.
Even after a 38% compensation increase offer over 4 years was rejected, shows the current pressure in labor relations.
Okay, let's pivot. AI. This is where things get interesting and maybe a bit concerning. GPT-5's launch.
Yeah, OpenAI's flagship, meant to cement their lead, but it's been, well, rocky. Users reporting basic errors, math, maps, and a colder tone, apparently.
But the bigger story seems to be this. AI delusion. Public chats showing the AI making really out there claims.
That's right. It's not just errors. It's fabricating things, claims of contact with extraterrestrials, predicting financial doom, and presenting it as fact. And the worrying part, some users seem to believe it.
Wow. So this brings us to our first sort of deep dive question. The struggles of GPT-5 and this AI delusion. What's the investment implication here? Trust seems like a major issue.
It absolutely is. Look, for companies like OpenAI, this shows it's not just about raw capability anymore. Managing the user experience, the psychological impact, that's critical. For investors, an AI firm's ability to handle these, let's call them soft risks, is going to be just as important as technical specs. It directly impacts adoption, valuation, everything.
So navigating the human element is key.
Okay.
And still in this tech vein, Silicon Valley parents screening embryos for IQ, paying up to $50.
Yeah, this genetic optimization trend. Experts are cautious, though. Current models might only give a 3–4 point average IQ boost, plus risks like unintentionally selecting for other traits, maybe higher autism spectrum disorder risk.
And some computer scientists see smarter humans as a way to build safer AI. That's a complex thought.
It's definitely a rationalist viewpoint gaining some traction. Very complex ethical ground.
Shifting again, geopolitics. The Ukraine summit, Trump, European leaders, Zelensky, setting red lines for the upcoming meeting with Putin in Alaska.
Key demands. Ceasefire first. Talks based on current front lines, binding Western security guarantees. Trump threatened, quote, very severe consequences if there's no ceasefire.
But Russia's position hasn't changed. Still demanding withdrawal from territories they don't even control.
Seems that way. And relatedly, there are reports Ukraine's military command is becoming more rigid, sort of top-down, Soviet-era style, causing frustration, maybe unnecessary casualties, concerns about long-term effectiveness.
And trade friction just keeps ratcheting up. These new U.S. tariffs on India, 50%.
Yeah, it's a 25% base plus another 25% linked to India buying Russian oil. It's really complicating plans for companies trying to shift production out of China.
Creates this China plus none of the above situation, you mean. Hard to diversify away from China without hitting new walls.
Exactly. And you see the pressure elsewhere. Porsche SE is even considering diversifying into the defense sector because the auto market, partly due to tariffs, is so challenging.
Which brings us to another point we wanted to explore. There's research suggesting companies with high CSR scores might sometimes use that as a mask for financial fraud. What does that mean for due diligence?
It means, fundamentally, that a high CSR score isn't a guarantee of good governance. It's a signal, maybe, but investors and analysts need to dig deeper. Don't just take the virtue signaling at face value. Look hard at the underlying financials, transparency. Misdirection there could hide serious liabilities.
So CSR ratings need context, not blind acceptance. Okay, final area. How do these geopolitical frictions and trade realignments shape global investment strategy overall?
Well, it points to a sustained period of pretty high uncertainty for global supply chains, definitely. Companies face tough choices on where to build, where to source. Ongoing conflicts, like in Ukraine, directly influence strategic thinking, hence Porsche looking at defense. And it continues to shape the outlook for energy markets, too. It demands a lot more scenario planning from investors.
It really feels like these high-level reports connect directly to everyday life, doesn't it? Air Canada disputes could mess up your travel. Where your appliances are made is shifting because of these big tariff and reshoring decisions.
Absolutely. And even things like AI's evolution or the ethics of genetic tech, they seem abstract, but they'll shape future jobs, the products you use, maybe even society itself. It touches everyone.
So the underlying currents, tax, tech ethics, geopolitics, they keep shifting the landscape. Lots to analyze. What stands out most to you about how these pieces are fitting together right now?